Welcome back to Malice and Mystery, where we explore the strange, the mysterious, and the unexplained. Today, we're diving into one of the most chilling legends in art history, the cursed painting of the crying boy. From devastating house fires to eerie tales of survival, this haunting artwork has left a trail of fear and fascination for decades. So, grab your favorite snacks, turn down the lights, and let's unravel the mystery behind the tears. Number 1, a haunting legacy. In the dimly lit corners of antique shops and forgotten attics, there exists a peculiar painting that has captured the imagination, dread of countless individuals, known simply as the crying boy. This artwork depicts a young child with tear-streaked cheeks, its wide eyes brimming with an unsettling mix of innocence and sorrow. First created in the 1950s by Italian artist Giovanni Bragolin, the painting was originally intended to evoke sympathy and compassion, a poignant portrayal of childhood vulnerability. However, over the decades, its reputation has taken a darker turn, transforming it into one of the most infamous symbols of supernatural lore. The legend surrounding the crying boy began in the late 20th century, when reports emerged linking the painting to a series of inexplicable and devastating events. Owners of the artwork claimed that misfortunes seemed to follow them like a shadow, manifesting in everything from financial ruin to catastrophic house fires. The painting itself remained eerily unscathed, a silent witness to the chaos it allegedly provoked. These stories quickly gained traction, spreading through tabloids, urban legends, and whispered warnings, cementing the painting's status as a cursed object. At first glance, the origins of the crying boy seem innocuous enough. Giovanni Bragolin, whose real name was Bruno Amadio, was a prolific painter known for his depictions of children. His works often featured subjects with melancholic expressions rendered in a style that combined realism with a touch of surrealism. Yet, beneath the surface of these seemingly benign portraits lies an air of mystery. Some speculate that Bragolin's models were orphans, their sorrowful gazes reflecting the hardships of their lives. Others suggest that the paintings were imbued with darker symbolism, perhaps even serving as conduits for malevolent forces. Whether rooted in reality or embellished by folklore, the enigmatic aura surrounding the crying boy continues to captivate those who dare to delve into its history. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that the painting is more than just a piece of art, is a puzzle waiting to be unraveled. Its haunting visage serves as both a warning and an invitation, drawing curious souls into a labyrinth of unanswered questions. What secrets lie hidden within its brushstrokes? And why does it seem to defy the natural order, surviving disasters that reduce everything else to ashes? To understand the curse of the crying boy, one must first confront the eerie tales that have woven themselves into its legacy, each account adding another layer to the mystery. Number 2, the fires that could not burn it. Among the countless stories surrounding the crying boy, none are as chilling or as frequently recounted as the incidents involving house fires. One of the earliest documented cases dates back to the 1980s, when a family in Yorkshire, England, awoke to find their home engulfed in flames. Despite the inferno consuming nearly everything they owned, firefighters discovered the painting hanging on a charred wall, completely untouched by the blaze. Its glass frame was intact, and not a single streak of soot marred the boy's sorrowful face. The family, already shaken by the loss of their home, grew increasingly uneasy when they learned of similar occurrences elsewhere. Another harrowing account comes from a couple in Liverpool who had purchased the painting at a flea market. Within months, their house caught fire under mysterious circumstances. Neighbors reported seeing thick smoke billowing from the windows. Yet when the flames were finally extinguished, the painting was found leaning against a scorched wall, pristine and undamaged. The couple, desperate to rid themselves of the cursed object, attempted to destroy it multiple times, burning it in a bonfire, smashing it with a hammer, even burying it in their backyard. Each time, the painting reappeared in their possession, as if drawn back to them by some unseen force. Perhaps the most infamous case involves a collector named Robert Smith, who amassed several copies of the crying boy over the years. Smith, overwhelmed by fear, donated the paintings to a local charity shop. only for them to be returned days later by terrified recipients who claimed strange phenomena followed the artworks wherever they went. These accounts are not isolated incidents, but part of a pattern that has persisted for decades. Across continents, people have reported inexplicable fires breaking out shortly after acquiring the painting. Firefighters and investigators have been left scratching their heads, unable to explain how an ordinary canvas could withstand such intense heat, while everything around it turned to ash. For those who have lived through these experiences, the painting is no longer just an object of curiosity, it is a harbinger of doom. A relic that seems to mock the very laws of nature. Number 3. Theories and speculations. Unveiling the enigma. The persistent survival of the crying boy amidst calamity has sparked a myriad of theories attempting to unravel its enigmatic resilience. Paranormal enthusiasts propose that the painting acts as a conduit for supernatural energies, suggesting that the boy's sorrowful gaze might harbor spirits or entities capable of manipulating physical environments. This theory posits that the tears streaming down the boy's face are not merely artistic expressions of sadness, but rather symbolic of a spectral presence weeping for lost souls, thereby invoking protective forces that shield the painting from harm. On the other hand, skeptics argue that the indestructibility of the crying boy can be attributed to more terrestrial explanations. After a particularly devastating fight, historical records indicate that during the mid-20th century, certain paints and varnishes contained chemical compounds now known for their fire-retardant qualities. Critics of the supernatural hypothesis point to these materials as a plausible explanation for the painting's survival in fiery conditions, arguing that what appears mystical might simply be a result of outdated manufacturing techniques. Psychological perspectives offer another angle, focusing on the human element in these narratives. Cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias, may lead individuals to remember and emphasize instances where the painting survived, while conveniently forgetting occasions where it did not. Moreover, the power of suggestion plays a significant role. Once a story gains momentum, it influences perceptions and memories, potentially distorting reality. The widespread media coverage of the painting's alleged curse could have planted seeds of doubt and fear, which then manifest as self-fulfilling prophecies among its owners. Each theory presents a compelling argument, yet none singularly explains the full scope of the mystery surrounding the crying boy. Whether viewed through the lens of the paranormal, material science, or psychology, the painting remains a tantalizing enigma. Its ability to provoke such diverse interpretations highlights the complex interplay between belief, perception, and reality, leaving the true nature of its curse or lack thereof an open question ripe for exploration. Number 4. The ripple effect. Lives altered by the cursed canvas. For many who have crossed paths with the crying boy, the painting's influence extends far beyond the confines of its frame, seeping into their lives in ways both subtle and profound. Take the case of Sarah Hensley, a single mother from Manchester, who stumbled upon the artwork at a charity auction in 2001. At the time, she saw it as nothing more than an affordable decoration for her modest flat. But within weeks, her life began to unravel. Her car was totaled in a freak accident. Her workplace announced unexpected layoffs, and her teenage son fell gravely ill. Desperate for answers, Sarah consulted a local psychic, who warned her that the painting carried a malevolent energy that thrived on despair. Reluctantly, Sarah disposed of it, but not before suffering a string of additional misfortunes, including a burglary that left her feeling violated and vulnerable. Though her life eventually stabilized, the emotional scars lingered, shaping her worldview and instilling a deep-seated wariness of objects with unknown histories. Then there is the story of Mark and Lisa Carter, a young couple from Chicago who inherited a copy of The Crying Boy from Lisa's late grandmother. Initially dismissive of the rumors surrounding the painting, they hung it proudly in their living room. But soon, their once harmonious marriage began to fray. Arguments erupted over trivial matters, finances spiraled out of control, and Mark, a successful architect, found himself plagued by creative blockades that jeopardized his career. Lisa confided in a friend, who urged her to research the painting's infamous reputation. Horrified by what she discovered, Lisa convinced Mark to get rid of it. They donated it to a secondhand store, hoping to sever its hold on their lives. While their relationship eventually mended, the experience left them questioning whether the painting had somehow amplified their latent tensions, or if it was merely a coincidence that their struggles coincided with its presence. Not all encounters with the crying boy end in tragedy, however. For some, the painting has served as a catalyst for introspection and transformation. Consider James O'Connor, a retired firefighter from Dublin, who acquired the artwork after responding to a house fire where it was found intact. Skeptical yet intrigued, James decided to keep it, viewing it as a conversation piece rather than a harbinger of doom. Over time, he noticed a shift in his own behavior. He became more cautious, more attuned to the fragility of life. The painting, with its haunting depiction of a child's sorrow, reminded him of the families he had helped save and the ones he hadn't been able to reach in time. Instead of fear, James felt a sense of gratitude for the lessons it imparted, crediting it with deepening his empathy and resolve to live more intentionally. These personal accounts underscore the duality of the crying boy's impact. For some, it is a source of relentless misfortune, a constant reminder of life's fragility and unpredictability. For others, it serves as a mirror, reflecting their vulnerabilities and fears while challenging them to confront the shadows within themselves. Regardless of interpretation, the painting leaves an indelible mark on those who encounter it, reshaping their lives in ways they could never have anticipated. Number 5. The artistic lens. Decoding the symbolism. To fully grasp the enduring fascination with the crying boy, one must delve into the intricate layers of symbolism embedded. At first glance, the painting's central figure, solitary child with tear-streaked cheeks, to embody universal themes of sorrow and vulnerability. Yet, upon closer inspection, the artwork reveals a complexity that transcends its seemingly straightforward subject matter. The boy's wide, unblinking eyes, for instance, are often interpreted as windows to an inner world fraught with anguish, evoking a sense of unease in the viewer. This deliberate ambiguity allows the painting to function as a Rorschach test of sorts, inviting individuals to project their own fears, regrets, and unresolved emotions onto its canvas. The use of color further amplifies the painting's emotional resonance. Bragolin's muted palette, dominated by somber grays and earthy tones, creates an atmosphere of desolation, while the occasional splash of red in the boy's clothing or the streaks of his tears injects a jarring vibrancy. They evoke both the vitality of youth and the ominous specter of danger, subtly reinforcing the painting's duality as both a portrait of fragility and a harbinger of peril. Beyond its visual elements, the crying boy also taps into broader cultural archetypes. The image of a crying child resonates deeply within the collective unconscious, drawing on timeless motifs of loss, abandonment, and the fragility of innocence. These themes are universally relatable, transcending cultural and temporal boundaries to evoke a visceral response. Furthermore, the painting's solitary figure aligns with the archetype of the wounded child, a symbol often associated with unresolved trauma and emotional wounds carried into adulthood. This connection lends the artwork a psychological depth that resonates with viewers on a subconscious level, making it not merely an object of aesthetic contemplation. Critics and art historians have long debated whether Bragolin intended these layers of meaning or if they arose organically from the painting's reception. Some argue that the artist's choice of subject matter, orphans and marginalized children, was a deliberate attempt to highlight societal neglect and evoke empathy. Others contend that the painting's uncanny ability to unsettle stems from its unintentional alignment with primal fears and anxieties. Regardless of intent, the interplay of symbolism and emotion ensures that the crying boy remains a profoundly evocative work, capable of eliciting reactions that range from profound sorrow to outright dread. Ultimately, the painting's power lies in its ability to transcend its physical form, by tapping into universal themes of vulnerability and loss. It transforms from a mere artifact into a living entity, one that seems to gaze back at the observer with an unsettling awareness. This dynamic interaction between the artwork and its audience underscores why the crying boy continues to captivate, terrify, and inspire, ensuring its place as a cultural touchstone in the realm of the mysterious and the macabre. Number 6. The resurgence of the cursed painting. In recent years, the crying boy has experienced a surprising resurgence in popularity. TikTok creators and Instagram influencers have embraced the painting as a cornerstone of modern horror content, crafting videos that blend historical anecdotes with dramatic reenactments. These creators often employ eerie soundtracks, dim lighting, and jump scares to amplify the painting's unsettling aura, drawing millions of views and sparking renewed interest in its cursed reputation. Hashtags like #CursedPainting and #CryingBoyChallenge have trended repeatedly, with users sharing their own interpretations, fictionalized accounts, or even attempts to recreate the painting's survival in staged fire experiments. This digital revival has transformed the crying boy from a relic of 20th century folklore into a viral sensation, introducing it to a new generation eager to explore its mysteries. Simultaneously, the painting has found its way into contemporary horror films and television shows, further embedding it in popular culture. Streaming platforms like Netflix and Hulu have capitalized on its eerie allure, featuring it in anthology series and standalone productions that reimagine its curse for modern audiences. These adaptations often take creative liberties, weaving elaborate backstories that connect the painting to ancient rituals, demonic pacts, or otherworldly forces. Such portrayals not only entertain but also deepen the mythology surrounding the crying boy, blurring the lines between fact and fiction. As a result, the painting has become a staple of horror tropes, referenced in everything from indie films to mainstream blockbusters. The convergence of social media trends and cinematic storytelling has reignited public fascination with the crying boy, breathing new life into its legend. Online forums and fan communities have emerged, dedicated to dissecting its history, debating its authenticity, and sharing personal encounters with similar artifacts. This collective engagement has fostered a sense of shared curiosity. Number 7. The enduring mystery of the crying boy. As we reflect on the journey of the crying boy, it becomes evident that its allure lies not solely in its supposed curse, but in the profound questions it raises about the intersection of art, belief, and human psychology. The painting's ability to evoke such a wide spectrum of responses, from terror to introspection, reveals the power of art to transcend its material form and become a vessel for collective fears and desires. Whether viewed as a cursed relic or a misunderstood masterpiece, until next time, stay curious and maybe check twice before hanging any mysterious paintings on your wall.